Today ended up being super stressful, man. The transmission ended up, or we think it's the transmission, started acting up again. Um, Anyways, can you guess where we're at? So, it is what it is. We're ending up with a new truck. It's getting washed right now, but it's 24 Ram 2500 again. Why am I getting the same truck, just newer? Brand wise, I'd like to keep it all the same. Why I didn't go new versus used? Financing was way better. Down payment was way better. They financed it in the company name and not my name. Lots of different reasons, but it is what it is. I can't have a truck down. And now at least we can get that truck in the shop, into the dealer, get it fixed, figure out whatever the heck is going on. And now we have our second truck, or our third truck. So we needed one anyways. You know, we've been talking about it since the beginning of this YouTube journey. So it is what it is. I feel like I should be excited, but it's not an emotional purchase. It is not a something that I want. It's something that the business needs, and yeah, here we are. All right, good morning. It is the morning after we picked up the truck. I didn't really give too many details last night, but I'll kind of give you more of a rundown this morning. So the long story short, you guys know we took the 22 Ram to the shop to do a transmission service. We thought that might, hey, get out of there. We thought that might have been one of the yard dogs is trying to check out the new truck. Close that. The 22 Ram, we thought it just needed a service. It has felt like lack of power, or it feels like it's working too hard for what it's doing. And we don't haul heavy. I mean, our average load is a ton or less, really. So it felt like it's been working harder. It is way louder than it normally is, like dramatically louder. I assumed it just needed a transmission service. Transmission guy went in there, says, hey, looks good, looks normal, nothing crazy. So I was like, perfect, we're good to go. I picked it up and man, it rode smooth, beautifully. And I'm like, all right, problem solved. We're ready for summer. And drove it around all day. Next day, brought it back to the yard and started training Casey on it. And as the truck warmed up and started to work, maybe 35, 45 minutes into, us actually hauling and moving, it starts to get a little loud again. I'm like, maybe that's normal. I don't really remember. And by the middle of the day, end of the day, it's back to just like, I don't know if I would call it hard shifting, but it, sorry, it wouldn't shift till like right at 2,000 RPMs, or getting on the freeway wouldn't shift till like 3,000. At one point, not till like almost 4. And so I went straight to the transmission shop. I had the mechanic in the truck, and we drove around for a bit. And he's like, and it was overheating again. The tranny was running like at 240. So I don't know. We showed him while we were in the truck. The tranny got up to like 250 something. He's like, yeah, something's definitely wrong. He's like, but the only two options is I can order this one part. I can't remember what he said. That helps control the heat in the tranny, or the temperature in the tranny. And if that doesn't work, then we need to drop the transmission. So from there, I just went home, talked to the wife, and we're like, okay, like, we need another truck. We've been talking about it since January. We wanted to wait to make sure that we made the right decision, which in this scenario, I'm very thankful we did not move forward with the 2 dump trucks we were trying to buy. And we've waited trying to make the right decision. I really wanted to buy used. I did not want the price ticket on a new truck. But after sitting down and doing the numbers, the commercial financing didn't want to touch any of the used trucks that we were looking at. Interest rate was way higher. The payment on a used truck, so there was one used truck I found. It was actually the same model truck that we have, 2022 Ram, Midnight Edition, everything, down to the T. That truck was like $39,000, and the payment on that, in my personal name, not in the business, it was going to be at like almost $1,200 or just over $1,200. And I'm like, goodness gracious, this makes no sense. Why am I pay less. My payment on my other Ram is like barely over $9. So after running the math, basically the payment was going to be the same if I bought a new truck versus buying a used truck. Granted, the debt that we accepted was going to be dramatically different. Positive on the new truck, it was going to go in the business name and a better interest rate compared to going in my name, which everything else is in my name and my wife's name. And so we really want to stop doing that, and we had to bite the bullet somewhere and get a truck in our name so we can begin that process so we can get more trucks in the future. What else? I'm losing my train of thought. So better interest rate, payments the same, in the company name, not in our personal name. And it was 47 miles compared to, 40 something miles, which, I mean, that's a natural no brainer. If you're going to buy a truck, lower in miles, the better. So, still wasn't happy with it. I still don't like that we had to buy a new truck. But business wise, non-emotional wise, just looking at facts, it was the better option. So here we are. I'll show you the truck. So it's a 2022 Ram 2500 Cummins. So literally almost the same thing that we have now. Our other truck is a Bighorn. This is a Bighorn. The only difference is the package. The one we have, the other one, is the Midnight Edition, and this one is not. So basically what that means is this is going to have all the chrome accents. So I'm not a fan of the chrome. So when we wrap it, that'll all get wrapped. And then we'll have to get some black wheels eventually for it. But inside of the truck, the back of the truck, this is pretty much all the same. Nothing different. Little storage compartments underneath. More storage down there. Everything there is the same. In here, some changes. Different mirrors. Different controls for the mirrors. This actually I thought was pretty cool. Let's see, what was this one? So if you're towing, you just extend your mirror a little bit. So I like that function. That was nice. This one is a 5-seater. The other one is a 6-seater. So the other one just has a center console that lifts up. This one is an actual center console. So tons of storage. I mean, probably way more than what we need. Got the iPad down there, and then this guy pulls up. We got more down here. So I didn't like the amount of storage just because of how dirty these trucks get. It's just going to get dust and dirt everywhere. So anyways, part of me is happy that we are done with having to stress about, what we're going to buy, what we're going to do. It's extremely humbling, and I'm very thankful to be where we are today. I think that's like I want to get frustrated that we had to buy a brand new truck, and I stop and I'm like, dude, it is such a blessing that you even, Mike, I'm gonna have to go here. The other guy that leases space here at the yard is walking over here. I'll be back in a minute. All right, training day. Delivering this dumpster on the street. All right, so I got Casey set up with a couple cones on a nice long straightaway road. This here is to really emulate the landfill. So his 2 cones is the area he needs to back into right up against the grass, so he can kind of have the feeling that there's a truck next to him already. Give him some time to give him a good look at all these yard dogs. This is why I like parking here. They heard someone walking out here. They all came to investigate. Anyways, give him about 45 minutes to just go straight forward and straight backwards, so he can emulate backing up at the landfill. He's done it a couple times now. Definitely a stressful moment for him, but a stressful moment for all of us the first time we did it. So now that he has a general idea of what it's like, now we're going to give him some practice time to actually practice that. He's doing it by himself because I don't know about you. And actually, I know about you. Anytime you've tried to back up a trailer with people watching you or someone sitting next to you, it heightens the stress by 50 million %. So this way, he has time on his own. He can get frustrated on his own. He can work through it on his own. And hopefully at the end of 45 minutes, he feels more confident backing up that trailer. So here we go. What's up, everybody? So I'm at the yard right now. I'm just doing some math and calculations. Obviously, we just bought this truck, so I am not wanting to spend any other money or spend at least money possible to get this truck running. So technically, we should get a gooseneck hitch on this truck, and so the trucks are completely matching, which we'll do eventually. But this truck needs to go. The other truck needs to go to the dealer for who knows how long. Before I could drop it off, though, I need to make sure this truck is ready to work. It does not have a gooseneck hitch, which it will eventually, but the hitch by itself is $600-700 plus install. $1,200 to $1,500 is what I've been quoted, ballpark-ish. So I don't really want to spend that extra money right now. We have our bumper pull trailer sitting over there, which it's just been sitting. We've kind of pulled it off rotation after the winter so that we could do some maintenance on it. Haven't done it yet. And we got the bumper pull or the gooseneck back on the road. So I was just doing some general kind of checking to see what exactly it needed. And it's actually not as bad as I thought. So tires aren't bad, they just need some air. The biggest thing is it needs a fender. The reason why we kind of parked it was we had a blowout and we blew our fender out. So I called a local trailer dealership. Fender on this truck or on this trailer is $175, so not bad at all. The tarp arms are off because when that blew, the whole thing just kind of became a big old mess. So tarp's fine, just needs to be reinstalled. It does need new batteries, so I got the pricing on those. That's not too bad. But besides that, everything else is working fine. Looking at the tarp, it might need a new tarp, but I have another one at the garage anyways. Besides maybe cleaning up some of the little rust that has built up over the last few months, I believe this trailer is pretty much ready to go. So this is probably the route we're going to go. Just get the fender replaced, get the tarp arms back on, and get working. So with that in mind, we're looking at, maybe $250 at the most. I forget how nails and screws end up in our yard. $250 at the most, I'm thinking. And the bumper pull will be back on the road. Not including the batteries, but if I'm being honest, I'm just gonna pull the batteries from the gooseneck for now. So $250, get the fender, get it welded on, and get the bumper pull back on the road. Park the gooseneck just for a couple weeks, just so I can kind of recoup the money I put down on this truck. I think that's what we're gonna do. That way we don't spend money on the hitch. I don't know if I mentioned it or not, but gooseneck hitch on this truck is $1,200 to $1,500 is what I've been quoted. So either spend $1,200 to $1,500 now and I keep the gooseneck running, or I spend $250-ish
and I get the bumper pull on the road, which needs to happen anyway. So yeah, I think that's what we're going to do. But once the other Ram makes out of the shop, we'll have 2 full roll-off truck and trailers ready to roll, and the dump truck. So this is exciting now. We finally pulled the trigger. We can move on with that stressor we've had for the last few months. Now we are in the position to grow for summer. So we are almost in the busy season. We're starting to ramp up. We're starting to see some days get crazy, some days not. So yesterday we had 10 appointments, well, 9 appointments. One of them was a customer who booked the appointment, saw what our pricing started at, but only wanted to pay half of that. So that 9 appointments yesterday, 10 that we showed up to. So 10 appointments is insane. We did have a smaller average job size yesterday, so we were able to make it all work. We had to do one kind of switch off in the day. But there was a point where we started to have to push people into today. So with the plan, we're going to keep Philip and Chris running on the junk removal truck 100% of the time. We're going to keep Casey running on the roll-off setup, so he's still in training. He'll be in training for a bit, getting and running dumpsters. Casey, though, only works a half day, so he's working basically from like 5 to 11. We're probably going to have to hire a second driver to work a second shift, maybe 12 to 5, 12 to 6. So total side note. So we'll have full-time junk removal team. We'll have a full-time team 2 running dumpsters all day long, hopefully. And then you'll have this truck with the bumper pull on it available to do anything. Realistically, my hope is that I can hire another junk removal crew member and that guy will work with me. So we'll have full-time junk removal team, Chris and Philip. We'll have part-time junk removal team, me and whoever this person will be one day. And then we have Casey and whoever that other driver is going to be running dumpsters all day long. That's the plan. That's the plan. So in reality, I should start looking for a second dumpster driver right now, because what we could do is maybe that'll be a blend of junk removal and dumpster driver. I don't know. We got some moves to make, and all these moves take money and time and stress. And so if we're busting out 7 to 10 appointments a day, I have no problem making these moves and decisions. But, it's been a super big roller coaster. Today we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 junk removal appointments and 1 dumpster delivery. Today, Casey was actually able to get some time behind the wheel and actually practice on his own. I showed a little clip of that earlier. I think if I didn't, I will now. But just gave him some time to figure out the trailer on his own, and we'll keep working on that. I don't think I'm going to have him work tomorrow. We have a 100% chance of rain tomorrow and a 90-something% chance of rain on Sunday. So that's kind of the quick update where we're at.